Howdy Homemade is a place and really kind of a concept that really wants to stretch the boundaries of inclusion with a place that, gosh, if you can say howdy,
howdy,
and you can scoop ice cream, you can join with us and start a career that who knows where it might go. My name is Tom Landis, and I'm the founder of Howdy Homemade Ice Cream. Howdy Homemade is about taking people that frankly are overlooked by pretty much everyone else and believing in them and giving them some love and grace and the keys and letting them go. We want to start Howdy, but mainly try and do something that hadn't been done before. When a customer comes in, instead of perhaps pushing the lowest person on the totem pole to the back, we're trying to lift that person up and encourage them to take the steering wheel, to take the helm, to greet the customer, to make it happen, and to empower them. And that's the biggest difference. And when you do that, the results are phenomenal.
I've been working at Howdy Homemade since last year. My favorite part about working here is I get to make people feel welcome at here.
I like to help them with their orders, and then I like to give them, and then I like to hand it to them instead of putting it on the table with them. I want to hand it to them.
And I'm really good at what I do. And also, I have really good coworkers that I care about. They're like my second family.
The customer base it really has been phenomenal, and really, I mean, everything from people 2 and 3 hours away that come in. Customers at Howdy make Dallas, which is a big city, feel like a small town.
Not my first time here. I'm a first grade teacher, and I love that they include everyone, and the disabilities, nothing matters. My students, some of them, their parents don't realize they have disabilities, and I mean, just this year alone, I have a little boy that just got diagnosed with autism, so this could be his future, and I love it. That absolutely anyone can have a job, and these people, they deserve it.
We see Howdy Homemade as a platform for other companies. And while you might not think that scooping ice cream is all that big a deal, it is a job that is a stepping stone to something else. And right now, our society is not giving enough opportunity to people with special needs.
They're happier than most people, so I love to walk in and see a smile on their face.
They are loyal, they are kind, they are so just excited about what they're doing.
This just makes your heart smile. To walk in and see their smiles and to see them at work and laughing. I heard laughter when I walked in, and so I think that many will follow when they see, yeah, they're just like us. They can work and they have the same capabilities as we do.
People want to help. They want to give jobs to people with IDDs. They just don't know how. So one of the things that I think is in the future is bridging the gap between where we are with this company and the capabilities and where we want to be with inclusion. And so I think Howdy Homemade brings that bridge together.
It's interesting to see what kind of influence we will be able to make. Yeah, we love it when you buy the ice cream, but what our real hope is that, you know, you'll start to employ people, and that's the bottom line.
I mean, the ice cream's delicious, but you're going to get the best service you'll ever get.
I'm kind of always a fan of the underdog. You know, growing up, my mom had polio, and she never drove, took public transportation in DC, and never complained. I think that resonates. But also this legendary coach, Gene Stallings, that won a national championship at Alabama, wrote a book about his son Johnny, who was born on June 11th, 1962 with Down syndrome, and what a different time it was back then. But he really, I think, pioneered special needs in Texas.
When Johnny was born, I thought it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. But it ended up being the best thing that ever happened. My life wouldn't have been nearly as rich if it wasn't for the fact that Ruth and I raised a child with special needs. Back in those days, nobody knew anything about anybody with special needs. The advice that we received was put him in an institution. We said, well, that's not an option. We'll just forget that. We're going to raise him the best we can. We don't know anybody that has a child with special needs, but we're going to do the best we can. And I'll tell you, I've got 5 children, 4 daughters and Johnny, and they all just absolutely adore Johnny. As a coach, you ask your player to do the very best he can with the ability that he has. That's what coaching's all about, is getting the player to perform at a high level. And Johnny did that. He did the best he could with what he had. Johnny worked at the funeral home for his cousin. They announced at church that somebody had died and there was going to be a funeral. And Johnny said, hot dogs. He said, I got a job. And I said, Johnny, you can't be celebrating somebody's death. But he said, Papa had a job. And Marcus Roden was the director of the funeral home. And in fact, he gave Johnny a key to the funeral home. You didn't get any bigger than having a key to the funeral home. And Johnny had one. We all have a job, and we live to have a good job. And Johnny wanted a job, and he had a job at the funeral home, was his first job, and then he worked at the Paul Brown Museum. It didn't make any difference what the weather was. Johnny was going to go to work, and they depended on him. He worked the videos and various things, and in fact, when I go out to the Paul Brown Museum to this day, there'll be somebody in there talking about Johnny. I can still remember the night that he passed away. I mean, he was really sick. He was sick. And yet he refused to complain anything about it. He would always say, I'm fine. Johnny, how you feeling? I mean, he couldn't breathe a lick. He'd say, I'm fine. So if you look around, you'll see I'm fine several different places. That all became because of Johnny.
Do you remember this?
Right.
Having fun with Coach King Stallings and see Johnny's grave that always touches people's hearts.
Johnny's buried here on the ranch, and I can't tell you how many times that Ruth Ann and I will get in the golf cart and we'll just drive down to Johnny's cemetery. We just have a conversation. I know he's not there. I know he's buried there, but tell him a little bit about the weather. He loved the farm on a beautiful day. That's what's written on his tombstone. So I say, Johnny, it's a beautiful day today, the sun's shining, and he was the rock the glue that held everything together. When things wasn't all that good, Johnny was.
And today we're here at the legendary Gene Stalling, Coach Stallings' residence. His son Johnny is on the pint of ice cream moving forward in College Station. So we're here showing that pint of ice cream with his son on it.
Well, here's a youngster that wasn't good enough to play football, wasn't probably smart enough to go to college, but they named an ice cream after him. How many people have an ice cream named after him?
At 4 million pints, at 25 cents a pint, that's $1 million going to create jobs for people with special needs because of your book.
Tom's made a difference in the Howdy ice cream, made a difference in children that have the special needs and the jobs that they generate and things of that nature. That falls under the category of a big deal as far as I'm concerned.
When they're given, an opportunity to be quote unquote normal, to have a job like myself and many others are able to have, that it empowers them. It's inspiring to see a person to overcome so many obstacles every day and now have a place to work and a place to feel loved and embraced and accepted. They've really blossomed because of the acceptance and the embracing that they've gotten from the community.
You know how big a deal it is to have a job, and then a special needs child have a job, and he's got to be there on time, and he's got to do his own work. That's a big deal. So when the people give these youngsters a job, that is a big deal, and they will be rewarded in heaven umpteen times.
It's amazing to be able to have a product like Howdy's here in our store and carried in a variety of stores across the company. It's wonderful to be able to have a product that has a mission behind it. HEB loves to have such a supplier diversity and to be able to not only support a company that supports individuals with disabilities, but also is able to give back in a big way like we try to do as well. I think that a lot of times companies may have a misconception that people with autism or Down syndrome or any type of IDD, that the training will be much more intense, or that the accommodations might be much more costly, and that it wouldn't be worth the investment. That couldn't be any more untrue. I think that the investment that we've made in these partners and that we will continue to make has paid off tenfold. Here at HEB, we really do value diversity, and we do value and honor the idea of inclusion. And so we make sure that all of our partners, no matter if they are differently abled or not, are included and treated as one of our normal partners here in the store. Ryan and Holly go through the exact same training as any one of our other partners. They are held to the exact same standards of any of our other partners, and they perform in the same way as well. So those standards are met, and they do a great job.
It's Holly Hughes, and I work at HEB, and I've been there for 5 years. I just like the customer interaction, the little kids, if it's their first time to do Buddy Bucks, that is like a little game for them, and they collect points and they can get prizes. I like to help them if it's their first time to go show them how to do it.
Holly is always super excited to come to work. She is a joy whenever we see her. She's always smiling and always just happy to be in the store. Her customers absolutely adore her whenever they come through her line.
It gives me something to do during the day, and I feel like you're kind of working towards like giving kind of back to the community.
Hello, my name is Ryan Mays. I've been working at HEB for about 8 months. I love working at HEB because it's a way to communicate with other people, interacting with them, and it makes me feel exceptional to them and how they are always open to share some skills and ideas for people who have disabilities such as like Down syndrome or high-functioning autism.
Ryan is a really dedicated employee. He is awesome. Whenever he comes to work, anything that we ask of him, he is more than willing to do whenever he comes in. He's a pleasure to have working with us here in the store. It's amazing to see the growth that he's had. He's more than willing to greet our customers, to thank them on their way out, and that social growth has been amazing to see.
Well, people with disabilities are kind of like focus, honesty, happiness, and just always making sure to get the job done without fuss.
They understand that, you know, that you might have difficulties doing some things if you're unsure about something. They're always willing to let you ask a question about it, and they'll help you.
Well, working at HEB, it's kind of making me feel more like getting me disconnected to my disabilities and all that, and sometimes try to be more like a regular person.
I feel great when I go to work because I feel like I'm, you know, earning money to be able to do things outside of Daymark.
Daymark Living is a residential community for adults with special needs. My name is Molly Denny, and I am the Director of Community Life here at Daymark Living. Most of our residents lived at home before they moved to Daymark, and so they have a lot of great skills when they get here, but it's our opportunity and pleasure to get them out in the community working, because working is a huge part of independence, and it's something that we feel really passionate about here.
We both work at HEB together, and we both live at Daymark, and I mean, when we're passing, we always say hi. We ask each other how we're doing,
I think she is a great friend and all that. She and I are the only residents here at Daymark who can drive our own vehicles to work.
So one of the neat things about watching our residents go from home life at Daymark to work is that they're doing exactly what the rest of us are doing, right? They're working during the day or in the evening, and then they're coming back home where they get to be independent. And so it gives them meaning and it gives them purpose. And I think it's one of the biggest transformations that we see in our residents as far as what real adulthood should look like.
When I hang out, I usually am up front, and I have a couple of games that my friends like, and we play that a lot of the times. Sometimes I just come on my porch and we have coffee together.
Daymark has taught me to learn to accept others despite differences, because it's a way to interact and how to be respectful, reliable, responsible, and to share God's love to one another.
What you get from spending time with them is just joy. You know, it's just pure joy. And they're not out there looking for the next best job, and they're not out there trying to make more money. You know, they love what they do, and they go there to do their job, and they're proud of their work, and it's beautiful.
I recommend the birthday cake.
I got the birthday cake. It's delicious.
Excellent. I want another, actually.
Chocolate. Oh, you can't go wrong with chocolate.
Here we are, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. My name is Coleman Jones. I am the Vice President of Howdy Homemade. I've been with Howdy for about 6 years.
Here we are, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy.
My favorite part about being in the truck is I get to be around employees and people that we cater for.
Cookies and cream. It was delicious.
Cookie Nomster. It was really good.
What is yours?
Cookie Nomster.
We hired Howdy's Homemade Ice Cream this week as an event to celebrate our reopening, and we used them because of their association with working with special needs ties into our diversity and inclusion.
Well, this is a pre-packaged scoop, right?
Right.
And so we are giving it to these customers out here. Right, Darcy?
Yeah. Everyone deserves an opportunity, and with those opportunities they can expand and grow as individuals, and I think everybody learns from everybody else.
Having Down syndrome, it really doesn't mean anything. What it does mean is it's life, and that's how it's about, life, and sharing it with a community.
We see a willingness to help, a gratitude and happiness that you don't always get in other places, and just an overall caring, friendly attitude.
People with special needs really would like to be treated like everybody else in the community.
Would you rather be in the truck or at the store?
A truck.
The truck?
Yes.
It's basically a repainted UPS truck, and it's been phenomenal because it allows us to take our employees to businesses, to schools, to places, and not only do catering events, but have our employees speak and show what they can do.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Daniel and I are going to a car show in Dallas.
Yeah, man, it's my first catering shift. I like meeting new people, and I'm excited to serve them ice cream as well.
Howdy!
My name is Josh Jones. I'm with Coverica Insurance Agency here in Dallas, Texas. We're doing a car show today. It's called Cars in Coverica. It's a charity car show. And we brought out our friends Howdy Homemade because we love their product and we love their mission.
So much. Appreciate it. Have a nice day.
I think it's important that the mission that Howdy Homemade stands for brings the disabled to the front of the business rather than behind the scenes, and gives them an opportunity to really have an ownership in the business.
Achieving our mission of creating jobs for people with special needs is reliant upon two things. On retail, we donate 25 cents to a fund that goes to help support and create more jobs. But on the franchising side, it's the demonstrable event of having people scooping ice cream, ringing people up, making ice cream that is important to the mission. So we can't do it just with retail, we can't do it just with franchising. It is a combination of both.
Howdy!
My name is Emery Santorni. I'm the franchise owner of Howdy Homemade Ice Cream in Lubbock, Texas.
Howdy!
Today we're doing a grand opening over here at Howdy Homemade West Texas, which is our Lubbock location, and we're gonna have a big ice cream social outside. We're gonna have some live music and entertainment, and we're gonna have a guest appearance from Raider Red, who is the Texas Tech mascot, and it's a partnership that we recently signed with Texas Tech University. I chose Howdy Homemade as a franchise during a search that my son and I did while we were looking for franchises to belong to or become a part of. I made a phone call to Tom Landis, and a 30-minute conversation turned out to be a 2-hour conversation that led us to Howdy Homemade in Dallas and take a look at their first location that they have over there. And we not only fell in love with the mission, but we actually fell in love with the employees of the business. It's amazing to see the level of confidence that it instills in them, a sense of pride, a sense of belonging. It also gives them an opportunity to be independent, and I believe that that's really one of the driving forces. It actually feeds my soul watching them just completely start developing and coming out of their shell.
I think it gives great opportunity for the kids to work because there aren't a lot of opportunities, and the people that I think go into the stores, they're a little more patient probably with them and give them some grace, and that's good for their self-esteem, and because they want to be like everybody else. They want to belong and they want to participate and they want to have a job, and this is good for them.
The response from the public has been overwhelmingly positive. We have been just showered with a lot of praise and support for the mission that we're doing, and for just being able to create opportunities for these people that have intellectual and developmental disabilities that haven't been given an opportunity before anywhere else.
They're giving everyone a chance, and many places wouldn't give someone with disabilities and obvious disabilities a chance to work, and they can. They absolutely can work. All they need is just someone to have a little faith in them, show them what to do, and these guys can do it.
So did you know that your TikTok has over 2.5 million views? The TikTok of you getting your first paycheck.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I feel happy.
People have been leaving a lot of really nice comments. They're saying they're so proud of you. You're so
And my
hardworking. Yep, and your family, and people love your blue hair too.
My favorite part of the job is knowing that somebody like Dale has had a epiphanical moment in her life of proportions that we can't even begin to understand. To hold up her first paycheck at the age of 28 to her mother with such pride makes getting up in the morning really, really easy.
You're a grown woman now.
I know, Mama.
When people ask me what I do, I say I create jobs for people with special needs through the power of our smiles and amazing ice cream. And when I say that to them, all of a sudden, their heart and mind connect in a way that I've never felt before.
Because we have a plethora of employees with different kinds of disabilities, it's really been a blessing to work with all of them.
If you get a chance to work with someone with special needs, there's no doubt you'll become a better spouse, parent, and friend.